Hey, Megan Scully, and this is the Limerick Post Show. And joining me now, it is Mark O'Connor. How are you keeping?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm really good, thank you. Now, we're obviously speaking about a very special lady, and I can see her over your shoulder right now, the incredible Dolores O'Riordan. And, you have been doing such great work around, I suppose, keeping her memory alive and just remembering the incredible musician that she was.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Limerick City, and that's where she came from, the city and the county, Ballybricken, Laurel Hill, go through the list. And I think we have a duty of care, if you like, to keep her memory going. And I think from doing previous years' events, the love that is shown for Dolores, both locally, nationally, and internationally, is a beautiful thing. And so this year we are doing a podcast. So I've reached out to a lot of the Cranberries fan groups around the world, and I've been getting beautiful audio messages from just folks all over the place. And the love they have for her is just something else. And I'm also connecting with local Limerick people as well. So the lockdown thing that we're all living through, we couldn't do something physical this year. So the Limerick Arts Office and myself, we were planning to do something, but with lockdown. So I said, technology, podcast,
Yeah.
let's go with that. And so we're doing an audio only kind of event. And yeah, so far it's bubbling up to be something really special.
And I think it's absolutely wonderful because like they're the biggest band in the world, and that's the one thing I noticed after her sad passing was, as you said, the fans from everywhere. Like you've put up a tweet on Twitter about the Cranberries and Dolores, and suddenly you had people reacting with you from every corner of the globe, and it was absolutely incredible. I think maybe we all then realized how massive they were, and they still are, with so many people in, as we said, everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Like this is phenomenal. Like this is the biggest band we have ever produced, coming from Limerick.
Hell yeah. The first Irish band to get over 1 billion views on YouTube,
Mm.
Zombie, great video, um, and great song. But like going through the list, we have Canada, we have USA, we have Mexico, we have Spain, we have Italy, we have France, we have the UK, we have folks from around Europe that I don't know where they're from, um, and I've actually, these are the audio messages I've received so far. And I also have lined up a few special guests as well. Niall Quinn and myself are going to do a Zoom meeting about Xeric Studios. So the kind of angle I'm coming at this is I've developed a little radio career for myself in the last year or two. So I do a show on Limerick City Community Radio called The Crack every second Sunday at 4 p.m. on 99.9 FM and
You're getting
lccr.ie.
there.
Yeah, and we're on Mixcloud as well. So I've got my moves going in the audio production side of it, as well as having made albums with loads of bands over the years. And but Xeric Studios was in the location where Limerick City Community Radio now is. So this podcast is sort of coming at you from the spiritual home of the Cranberries, if you like, Mother Earth. And so Niall and myself are going to stroll down memory lane and think about Xeric. And, he was the singer of The Cranberries Saw Us before Dolores joined. So that should be fun. And I'm also hopefully going to connect up with Ono Kelly, who then became a Hitchers vocalist, but he was there in the room at that first rehearsal. So he's lined up to chat as well. And we've also received a lovely message from Magda Joyce, who used to be the singer in The Charming. So there's great memory lane stuff there for the Limerick listeners, but I think the international listeners are going to eat that stuff up as well, and it's just going to be gorgeous. And yeah, I mean, I think in Limerick we should do something. I mean, January's a pretty drab month anyway, so we should just remember Dolores every January, and there you go. That's the crack.
I have to say, when I walk the Three Bridges now, I just love when I hit that corner at King John's Castle and see that painting. Every time I see it, I'm in awe of it, and I just think it's such a beautiful, colourful tribute to Dolores and the Cranberries, and of course for Limerick as well. And I think now as well, adding the podcast, and as you said, just giving the fans something, because we are in lockdown; they can't travel over. And I know when she did pass away, they came over and they came to Limerick and they wanted to see everywhere and all the places that Dolores has been. So I guess the podcast now and the audio is another way to invite them in to maybe hear stories and tales of Dolores that they never heard before. And I think that's the one thing that I've found since her passing, is even like learning more about her and, you know, growing up in Limerick and her life and the Cranberries and everything. And it's absolutely fascinating. Like they've such an amazing story to tell. And now as well, I was at the previous memorial events that were held across the city, and they've all been really special. And I think this now is something, as you know, to add as well. And the audio is going to be there now forever, which is very special. So for those who want to listen to it, where will it be available?
No pressure, says you. I have to edit it in the next 48 hours, but I've faced heavier deadlines than that. Yeah, mixcloud.com/Mark O'Connor, I think. But it, like Piani Limni was the project that Piano for Dolores was the first thing I did, that a piano and people gathering around it, and that's gave birth to Piani Limni. So if you look for Piani Limni on Facebook, Piani, that's the plural of piano, and Limni, the Tishel Ginadach of Limnock. And yeah, the event page is there, and we'll be posting the podcast there. Funny you should mention about the mural. I got so some of this conversation, the podcast is like a dynamic conversation, and who you meet and who you talk to, it grows. There's a filmmaker based here, Tressa O'Brien, and she and her 2-year-old, they do bicycling around Limerick, and every time they go past the mural, they both shout, "Hi, Dolores!" And she's actually christened her bicycle Dolores O'Riordan after great Irish women. She had a bike in London called Bernadette Devlin, and it's just a thing she likes to do. But that was, when I heard that story, I whipped out the phone and got an interview with her. So, and yeah, just, you also mentioned just the international fans. A lot of them are yearning to be in Limerick or come to Limerick. You know, a lot of them like to go to the grave or to go to the sites that the Cranberries played at. And the fact they can't do that this year is hurting a small bit. So hopefully this podcast will kind of temper that. And yeah, I think it's just going to be lovely. They're all going to have their moments for this great band and this great Irish woman.
Oh, it's absolutely incredible, and I look forward to listening to it myself. Of course, January 15th is her anniversary, and we're thinking of her friends at this time as well, and obviously always remembering Dolores. Every time I hear a Cranberries track, it always stops me in my tracks, no matter if I listen to it 10 times that one day. Their music and her voice is just something else. And Mark O'Connor, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you in the Limerick Post Show. And one more thing.
Do you want to do like a Stephen Colbert, Jean Baptiste? Do you want to give us a little something to play us out on?
Yes, even better. We're getting spoiled here on the show today.
So, see you on the 15th of January for the Remember Dolores podcast, and we will remember her. And her voice is only there in the records, but we can make the notes happen on piano. All right.
That was absolutely incredible. And as I said, we look forward to hearing the podcast. Thank you so much for chatting to us, and of course for always keeping Dolores O'Riordan's memory alive.
Thank you very much, Megan.